What's up, y'all? Welcome back to 88 Fitness Live every Sunday morning, 06 Eastern Time. Today we're talking about the real secret to getting huge: sleep. But first, updates. All right, so I'm actually gained 2 pounds. So we went on vacation last week. Good face. And I let loose a little too much. Didn't make up the weight. But if you're paying attention, we're still ahead of the game. I got ahead of the game just so I could let loose on vacation. We're still ahead of the game at 214, 10 weeks out. That's a rate of loss of 1 pound a week. Too easy. Too easy. And I'm actually hoping to come in at 205 stage weight. So I should only have to lose 9 more pounds. So still ahead of the game. Hungry but not hurting. 10 weeks out from the Tupelo Pro. Here we go, baby.
Cool. I have 2 weeks left in my off season. Oh my gosh. Yeah. It's time to get those like extra meals in there because it's going to be a 22-week prep all the way to my first show or to the last show. So I'm pretty excited about that. But in other news, next week, we have a ton of athletes competing in the 2023 IPL Maryland State Championship.
Good luck,
it is the first time this show is being offered in our state, so we're super excited about it. And our ladies, they look incredible. So if you haven't checked out the community section, check out their photos for sure and stay tuned.
And Paul.
Yes. Sorry, Paul.
All right, so sleep. Very, 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 very important. I have sleep issues. I've had sleep issues my whole entire life. I've said, many years ago, if I could sleep and eat, I'd be a bodybuilder. I do classic physique because I can't eat the amounts of food you got to eat to be a bodybuilder. Neither can I sleep the amount of sleep you need to get to be a bodybuilder. But sleep is number one, so important. Most guys don't even think about sleep. It was probably a year ago, I'm listening to Winning Strength. He said, man, if these guys put enough effort into their sleep as they did in their training, nutrition, everything else, they would be completely jacked. You do your damage in the gym, you recover when you sleep. If you're not recovering, you're not growing.
You know what the best thing about sleep is, especially for a bodybuilder? It's completely free. Everything else costs a ton of money, but the number one thing to get huge is sleep, and it's absolutely free. And it is by far one of the best things in terms of recovery, injury prevention. So definitely need to emphasize getting good sleep. And James is right. It's probably the number one not well thought through thing that a competitive person or even just like your average lifter doesn't think about.
Yes. Like I said, I have sleep issues my whole life, and you're resting with your feet up on the couch watching TV. It's not the same. It's not the same. You're resting, yes, but it is definitely, you're not recovering like you do when you sleep.
Right.
So what do you do when you got sleep issues like me? Number one, and I've done some studying, the best article I ever read said, don't fight your natural sleep pattern.
That's true.
My natural sleep pattern is kind of crazy, but it works. And ever since I stopped fighting it, it's been the best sleep I've gotten my whole entire life. My sleep pattern is go to bed after dinner, literally 5:30, 6 o'clock. I'm waking up around between 12 and 2 every single day. And like I said, ever since I stopped fighting that, it's been the best sleep of my life. Back in the day when I was like trying to stay up 9, 10 o'clock, and then you're waking up all through the night and you can't go back to sleep and all kinds of crazy stuff. But don't fight your natural pattern if you can find it.
It takes a while to get used to that. I mean, as James's wife, that's not my sleep pattern. So we are kind of opposites. The weird part is when we do go on vacations and stuff like that, his natural sleep pattern stays the same. And so it gets really interesting. We're out at 2 a.m. looking for bears in the woods because he can't sleep. But he's right. He definitely does a lot better not trying to fight that. And again, mine's a little different. That's why we're not really able to work out in the mornings together because I'm still sleeping. He's up already. But yeah, I agree. That's a great tip.
Yes. So number one, find your natural sleep pattern and stop fighting it. That's number one. Number two, I do take some sleep pills, some sleep aid. This is number one seller on Amazon. It's cheap. It works for me. It doesn't help you fall asleep. It doesn't help me fall asleep. It helps me stay asleep.
That's good.
So if you wake up, you got to pee, whatever, this will help you go back to sleep. And instead of just going, laying down there and going, okay, can't go back to sleep. So that's what this one does. We've tried this one. I'm not a real big fan. It makes me groggy in the morning. This is old school labs, sleeping pills. They work, but it makes it hard to wake up.
Let me talk about that one now. So what I found with this one is that there's a sleep window. It makes you kind of foggy and you need to fall asleep in that moment. If you fight it, you miss that opportunity and then they're not effective. And then for me, I don't really have the groggy problem with this. So this is a great one. But again, don't fight it. Fall asleep when you get that,
when it kicks
that
in.
urge.
All right, so sleeping issues, find your sleep pattern, find a sleep aid. You know, I don't like being groggy in the morning, so old school lab is out for me. Camille still takes this one. This one does not make me groggy, so I will still take this one. And I don't take it every day. If you take it every day, it stops working.
Yeah.
I take it when my legs are sore because I know I'm going to need it. I take it before leg day because I know I'm going to need to sleep, etc.
Sounds good. So for me, one of the things, and a lot of people I think are like this, I'm go, 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 go all day. I mean, I come home, I eat dinner, I train clients, and then I finally hit the sheets and it's like all of a sudden my mind's like reflecting on my whole day. And again, that messes with my sleep. So my advice, if you're like me, is before you actually go to your room to go to sleep, take that 20 minutes, sit down, reflect on your day, get all of those thoughts out, get all the plans for the next day out. Don't go to your room to go to bed and then start this 20, 30-minute process of let me reflect on my day, because it's going to create anxiety and you're not going to be able to sleep. So for me, that's just a tip or technique that's really helped me get that good quality sleep, and I'm not sitting there worrying.
Great point. Unwind a little bit before you lay down.
Absolutely. And I know a lot of people unwind by watching TV and computers. I mean, there's so much research that just says just having that light stimulus in the background and the sound, it's going to not give you good quality sleep. So definitely, you know, try to limit how much electronics and things you're looking at. I know it's kind of addicting or too easy to sit in bed and look at your phone and scroll through Facebook and Instagram, but really, you know, it's not helping you, it's hurting you at the end of the day.
Yep.
So
another tip, I use a fan. The fan creates noise, so background noise, the dogs, people coming and training, because I'm in bed at 6 o'clock. We got clients showing up. The dogs are barking. I got the fan on. I can't hear them. They don't wake me up. So get yourself a noisemaker. I use a fan. What's the static noise?
White noise.
White noise machine. You can get an app that'll play on your phone if you like. Just get some noise to drown out background noise.
Mm-hmm.
You got kids, dogs, cats, anything that's going to wake you up. Get yourself a noisemaker that's going to block that out.
Definitely. In terms of how much sleep, I mean, there's been a lot of research. It says 7 to 9 hours is an adequate amount for someone that is doing resistance training and kind of beating their bodies up.
I think that's pretty universal. 8 hours is.
And I can definitely tell if I only get 4 to 6 and then I have to go hit a lifting session the next day, like things are not recovered that need to be. I don't have the mental clarity to tackle those lifts and really focus on, getting those deep contractions and things. So I can definitely tell the difference.
100%. You know, there's been plenty of days where I'm rolling off of no sleep and it's awful. I grind through the workout, but it is definitely not the same when you're well rested. I do the workout because I'm disciplined and scheduled to do it and I have to do it, but it is not the same. You know, no sleep compared to good night's rest and then go hit it.
Absolutely. I see there's a comment there about, you know, being a late sleeper and having trouble like after you get up to go use the restroom. Absolutely. Yeah. James likes that sleep aid stuff for that very reason.
Sleep aid, yeah.
I also try to limit how much fluids I have.
Yeah.
I have clients, this is funny, you know, they're trying to get their like 120 ounces of water a day and they'll come short at the end of the day and then they're puzzling. I'm like, oh man, what are you doing? Because you know what's going to happen. They're going to be in that bathroom all night long. And yeah, you're not getting good sleep at that point. So, you know, definitely a couple hours before bed, you're going to want to restrict how much fluid you're drinking so you're not just flushing that out of your body all night.
100%. One more tip I got. I save carbs for my last meal of the day. You're going to read stuff saying not eating carbs before you go to bed. Well, if you want to sleep and you're calorically deficit, it is very hard to sleep. If you wake up and you are hungry and your stomach is empty, it is very hard to sleep. I save my carbs for my last meal. My first meal of the day and my last meal have the most carbs throughout the day. The meals in the middle don't have many carbs at all. The carbs at the end of the day, your last meal, will help you go to sleep and help you stay asleep.
Absolutely. I really like that advice, especially for later in prep. I know our sponsored athlete, Samantha Harris, she was having issues with that, and same advice. We said, let's shift some of those carbs to nighttime, let you sleep better. Plus, when you wake up and you hit that resistance training in the morning, your glycogen stores are full. So you have the energy to go really hard into that workout. Those carbs are going to help you with recovery at night. So it's a win-win. One thing I have noticed though, because I do weigh myself every day, if I do shift those carbs and a heavy meal to nighttime, well, my weight might go up the next day or not be as less as I thought it would be just because I shifted that meal so late in the day. But caloric wise and weight wise over the span of a week, yes, it's going to go down. So don't worry about it.
And Camille may have that problem, but I do not. I eat my carbs late at night and the scale still goes down and I still lose the weight. So it might affect some people, but it doesn't affect me. And I've been competing since 2005. Believe me, if you want to sleep, listen from experience, have some carbs before you go to bed. And save them. Don't go over your calories. Save them so you can eat them before you go to bed.
Definitely, yeah. The rice, the rotis, that sounds awesome.
Good.
James and I love rice. Like, that is absolutely a really great carb for sure.
That's okay too. Just save your biggest carbs for night. He's saying we have a high carb intake all throughout the day. In India, they're mostly vegetarian, so they eat carbs and carbs and carbs, which is fine. But save most of them before you go to bed your last meal, excuse me.
Absolutely. One other thing probably should bring up, alcohol consumption, that's going to impair your sleep. It's definitely going to impair your sleep, recovery, all sorts of things. So if you're the type that likes having that last nightcap before bed, that might be something that's hindering your sleep.
Listen, if you're drinking alcohol, you're not a competitive bodybuilder. You're not in prep. If you're off season, you can have a few here and there. But if you're consuming alcohol on a regular basis, you are not a competitive bodybuilder. Trust on that.
Yeah, let's go ahead and replace that alcohol with maybe some hot tea or something.
Alcohol is counterproductive every single goal you're trying to achieve. So if you're serious and you're a competitive bodybuilder, not even competitive bodybuilder, if you're serious about building muscle, you're not consuming alcohol.
Definitely.
Not very often.
Yeah. Other things, watch caffeine intake. I know for me, like, I cannot do a caffeinated anything after like 1 p.m. And the older I get, the more I have to move up that time.
Good point. So I cut my caffeine at lunch. 11:30 is my last bit of caffeine. Like I said, I go to bed 5:36. So all the caffeine's burnt out. I eat my last meal and I have no problems falling asleep. Staying asleep is the issue now. But
for those that work out at night,
this helps.
I don't know how you hit that pre-workout and then come home and go to bed. I mean, you must be staying up till like 10, 11 o'clock at night because there's just no way. One, I'd be up, high with endorphins from pumping iron, but the caffeine alone would just keep me up all night.
Sure. And I've had, exes I've lived with where they wake up at 8, 9 o'clock at night and they got a burst of energy and they're up till 1 or 2 in the morning. I'm just like, what are you doing? And then they drag ass all day, because they have to get up.
Right.
They can't have their natural sleeping pattern because they always have to get up in the morning, even though they stay up late at night.
Right.
If you're in that situation, I feel sorry for you, but get a job where you don't have to get up in the morning is what I would suggest. naps?
Well, let's talk about that, right? Because if you are going to stay up till 1, 2 in the morning, you're going to be inclined to take a nap. Naps are bad, especially if you want to sleep at night. So if you are taking naps throughout your day, maybe consider pulling those out or really limiting the duration. Like a nap should not be longer than 30 minutes. That is just sleeping if you're going to do it longer than 30 minutes.
Yeah, if you're having trouble sleeping at night, I would not nap. The days I go,
Right.
a night or two without sleep, will I try to catch a 20-minute nap? Sure. But the nights I sleep at night, I don't even try to nap.
I mean, let's talk about that. Naps are not helping to replace the sleep, the quality of sleep that you're getting at night. There's no way any amount of naps can compete with that deep sleep. So definitely want to limit how many naps you're taking throughout the day and stay active.
Very good point. Very good point.
All right. No, I think that's it.
All right, y'all. Thanks for tuning in. You want to get jacked? Pay attention to your sleep. It's highly overlooked, but definitely an important part of bodybuilding and rest and recovery. All right. Thanks for tuning in. If you have any suggestions for us, leave us a comment. We'll get on it. We'll make the video.